In today's note, we're going to take a quick look at satellites. So what is a satellite? You may have an idea, and your idea is not wrong, but we can generalize it a little bit more. So a satellite is a celestial body orbiting another planet. So you may have been thinking about satellites where that beam signals down to Earth, and you're not wrong, because there are two. There are artificial and natural satellites. So these are some of the natural satellites in their solar system with Earth for scale. So we have basically all the moons, such as our moon that we can see at night, and the moons of other planets. Those are all natural satellites because they orbit around either Earth or they orbit around the planet. So you can kind of see how all these other moons compare in terms of size to both Earth, and you can see our moon in the upper left. But again, these are natural satellites because these are naturally occurring. Earth satellites, so again, we have one natural satellite, which is the moon, and we have thousands of artificial satellites. Some of our satellites, we have the human-occupied satellites, such as a space shuttle or the International Space Station. And the space station is 350 kilometers from Earth, and it takes about 90 minutes to orbit Earth. But that is one of our satellites. It's quite larger than you might think of a satellite, but again, it's orbiting or revolving around Earth. Staying in orbit, so the force of Earth's gravity constantly pulls the satellite down towards Earth, similar to how when we jump, we get pulled back down to Earth, we don't float away. But the forward motion of the satellite and the curvature of the Earth prevents it from falling into the atmosphere. So this is what causes it to, again, orbit the Earth. So it's just far enough away that the forward motion and the curvature of Earth kind of balances out or counteracts against the gravity trying to pull it down. We're going to look at the types of orbits. So these are 3 different types of orbits that satellites could be in around Earth. We have low Earth orbit satellites, and on the image or on the graphic, you can see them as the LEO or LEO. So those are the low Earth orbit satellites. These are anything that are orbiting Earth up to an altitude of 2,000 kilometers. So these would be things that are human occupied, such as the International Space Station, and anything used for Earth observation. So like kind of like radars or satellite imaging, stuff like that. Medium Earth orbit satellites, so the MEO on our graphic. These are altitudes up to 35,000 kilometers. And these would be things such as GPS satellites. And lastly, geostationary Earth orbit satellites are anything that are beyond the medium Earth orbits. And what's unique about this is that its path is directly over the equator, and its period, or the amount of time it takes to rotate around Earth, is equal to the period of Earth's rotation. So they would almost look motionless in the sky because they are rotating just as fast as we are on Earth. So they wouldn't look like they're moving. All the other objects, you might be able to see satellites moving in the sky. You can see the space station moving if you have a powerful enough telescope or it's clear enough. But you can tell that those are moving. The geostationary Earth orbit satellites, they would appear motionless even if you did see them. And these are things such as communication and weather satellites. Because they're so far away, they would have the ability to cover a large amount of space on Earth. And again, just a quick overview of what a satellite is and just some of the different orbits that they can take.